Seattle voters are finally starting to turn on the radical left. Welcome to the Jason Rantz Show, presented by None Better Tax Resolutions. The city of Seattle, through its radical left council, effectively legalized drugs again. But residents finally appear to be sick of it all. Two significant polls are now finding that residents think the hands-off approach to drug use is actually hurting the city. And on top of that, public drug use should result in an arrest. So why doesn't the council actually represent the voters here? The council had the opportunity to move drug prosecutions from the King County Prosecutor's Office to the city attorney, Ann Davison. She said she'd enforce the law to leverage jail time to get addicts to finally accept treatment. The prosecutor, Lisa Mannion, to her credit, said her office can't handle these cases and that it should obviously go to the Seattle City Attorney. But 5 council members said, nah, we're not interested. Socialists Tammy Morales and Kshama Sawant, far-left progressives Teresa Mosqueda and Lisa Herbold, and the swing vote here was Andrew Lewis. Lewis is up for re-election. This should end his career. The newest poll comes from the Seattle Times and Suffolk University, and it shows 60% of respondents support arresting people for public drug use. 64% want criminal penalties beyond simply just making an arrest. This is Seattle. For residents to take this kind of position means things have really gotten bad. What used to be seen as a conservative view on drug use has actually become the predominant view of the residents here. That's how bad it's gotten. And yet council members like Andrew Lewis, they are too terrified of the radical left protesters, and in this case, he's willing to sell his constituents out. He represents downtown, where the crisis is arguably the worst. A handful of loud activists, fringe activists, they yell at him, he cowers, and he votes their way. That's not leadership, it's political cowardice. And as people like him stay in power, trying to work behind the scenes to placate those activists who don't even live in his district, while trying to manipulate the policy to pretend that he's going to give us what we actually want, people are dying in record numbers. We are on pace right now to barrel past last year's record high 1,000 fatal ODs across King County, majority of them happening in Seattle, majority of them due to fentanyl. We are already at 573 fatal overdoses. By the time you watch this video, that number will have gone up. I've seen people change their views on what's been going on before, but they sometimes don't change their vote. In fact, they usually don't. Will they this time? I don't know. I'm not going to hold my breath. I can't pretend, though, to not feel there's some change in the air. So maybe Seattle can and will be saved. Jason Rantz here with Greg Nunn, your local tax expert and advocate. Greg, thank you so much for coming on.
Hey, Jason, great to be with you again and talk about these tax issues.
Okay, so why should anyone in trouble with the IRS contact you immediately?
The sooner the better, because it's so much easier to deal with an IRS situation at the beginning than when you're getting toward the end and they're getting very aggressive. And at the same time, it takes that pressure off of you sooner and gives you that peace of mind that, hey, no more fear of going to the mailbox because I'm here helping you.
So by connecting with you, can you assure people that they won't have the IRS on their doorstep or calling them nonstop?
When you have representation, you definitely do not want to talk to the IRS ever, and you don't have to. You are protected by statute, by law, that when you have representation, they have to deal with your representative. And I am acting in your best interest when I'm dealing with the IRS, and I tell you, you don't want to talk to them, it'll just stress you out.
Greg, thank you so much. That was really, really helpful.
Hey, it's my pleasure, and I just really hope that what I've said helps some people that are in tax difficulty.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. Greg might be able to negotiate a settlement for up to 85% off the original amount owed, including penalties and interest. Call Greg Nunn today. Did you like this video? We have a whole lot more over at ktth.com.